Good afternoon, Durham. Welcome to another exciting episode of Durham Unplugged, a chance to meet your local leaders in a less than formal setting. We have a really cool guest today, I'm not going to lie. Ryan Smolkin from Smokes Poutinerie, the CEO, which if I'm not mistaken,
Woo!
stands for
Yeah!
Chief Entertainment Officer, right?
Bang on, brother. You got it. That's what it's all about.
Ryan has obviously is the CEO of Smokes Poutinerie, and a little known fact for a lot of people, they don't know Smokes Poutinerie. Their head office is in Ajax, Ontario. So I thought it'd be a great chance to talk to Ryan, ask him a few questions about him, his business. But the real question I really want to ask right off the bat is, what residence did you stay in at Wilfrid Laurier? Because I am also a Laurier alum.
Whoa, nice. I did not anticipate that one.
Yeah,
Believe it or not,
put you in your heels.
without aging myself, I was the first year in Bricker.
Oh, Bricker,
Boom!
nice.
That was like huge, man. See, that you look a lot younger than me, but that really aged me because I was the first dudes in Bricker. Bricker was like revolutionary at the time.
It was apartment style, wasn't it, at the time? Wasn't that the whole thing of Bricker?
It was the first apartment style of its kind. So that was the wicked part. It felt really cool if you got into Bricker.
Yeah, it was like Melrose Place, right? You had like individual Melrose Places throughout.
Exactly.
I had
party. Gotta love Laurier.
I unfortunately got stuck at Little House, which was the all guys residence, which is nobody's first choice. But yeah, let me tell you, a lot of testosterone in my first year of university.
Nice, brother.
So Ryan,
when did you graduate? And I'm putting you on the spot. When did you graduate?
No, I own it. I graduated 2004 with an English and poli-sci major. And when did you're a bit older than me, though, right?
Bit older, business dude. Yep,
of course.
Had BBA co-op while I was there, so took that all the way through. That's where actually my first business started. Right there in Waterloo I called it property development, but really I was a slumlord. I bought my first property in my third year of university, and boom, took off from there. Actually, you could have been one of my tenants. Did you have an a-hole landlord?
No.
Okay, good.
Definitely. I feel like I would have remembered if you were my landlord, to be honest. But so you bought very much like a Monopoly guy. You bought like small properties, and then eventually you made it to Boardwalk, I would argue, right?
Hope you can hear me. Could you hear me at all through all that?
Not the beginning, but we can hear you now.
Oh, thank God! Just got the phone ringing off the hook, man. People want franchises. They want to be a part of the Smokes Poutinerie team.
And now you're worldwide, right? You're not just in North America. You went to I went to one of your speaking engagements at the Arc, and you're saying how you guys are into Dubai and UAE right now, and that's crazy.
Yeah, we got all through the GCC. We're doing Dubai's got 3 building out right now, so we're gonna be getting out there soon for the training while we're out there. Qatar's got 2 building right now, training out there. We got 1 launching in probably in a couple weeks, and the next one just a month and a half after that. But Bahrain, Saudi, Oman, Kuwait, so heading up all the GCC, and then we're actually building it in Europe too. Got 3 countries that we sold already: Hungary, Czech Republic, and Austria. So boom, global domination, baby. I've been saying it since the beginning, and it's now happening. Are you with me? Are you on the gravy train?
Yeah, I see what you did there. But did you ever think, like, you went to Laurier, obviously you went into business. You had I would argue probably an entrepreneurial mindset from early on. But did you ever think this is where you would be like 20 years later?
A yes and a no. Good question, actually. Very rarely have I been asked that one, but the twist on that is a yes and a no, because yes, I knew I'd own my own business. I knew I was an entrepreneur from the beginning, but I had no idea what. You told me I'd own a chain of restaurants back in university, I'd be like, yeah, cool, that sounds fun. I had no idea about it. Or I owned a branding and design company that I started from scratch for 11 years before this. No idea that I'd get into that stuff. So, and then the property development, like I said, owning my properties through university. So it was pretty weird, wild, and wacky going that way, but always an entrepreneur. So tell me then the yes side, I'd be an entrepreneur running a business. No idea I'd be owning an international restaurant chain, taking poutine around the world, baby. Woo! Yes, sir! You got it, yeah!
You're going to blow out our mics. It's amazing. I can't wait. You started Smokes, but like, let's talk about Ryan pre-university. So where'd you grow up?
Wow, you're getting deep, dude. This is
Yeah,
getting
these are the hard-hitting
there.
questions you expect from Durham Unplugged.
I can't even remember when I've opened up on that one. My dad would be proud of me right now if I told you Smiths Falls, Ontario.
Oh my God,
And
I know. I have friends who are from Swiss Falls.
oh, cool. See, okay, my dad's gonna hate me if he listens to this now because he always says in all the interviews that I do, "Where are you from?" I always say from Ottawa, right?
Right, because
And
that's the
he
closest.
says, "Ryan, yeah, why aren't you proud of Smiths Falls? You gotta be proud. You gotta say it." And I'm like, "Dad, if I say Smiths Falls, I'm gonna spend the next 10 minutes explaining where Smiths Falls is, and sometimes I'm just on air on TV for 5 minutes. I don't have the time. But you
Right.
and I got lots of time. So
Yeah.
Smiths Falls, Ontario, and
Okay.
now we're this side, towards Toronto, this side of Ottawa. So that's it. Small town boy taking global domination.
I know that's hilarious
Yep.
from Smiths Falls.
So
Yeah.
you can tell I wanted to get out of that pretty quick. I went to Laurier, hit it when I was 17. Got out of Smiths Falls, and not saying I don't love Smiths Falls. I love Smiths Falls, but never gone back. Lived in Toronto ever since graduating Laurier.
And what were you like in high school? Were you a studious kid? Were you a jock? Were you a nerd?
Whoa! Wow, this is deep, dude. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna be one of those talks you're gonna be crying.
I hope so. This is our Bob Walters interview because like everyone knows Ryan.
Confessing everything.
Everyone knows Ryan, the CEO, but I want to go again. This is how does I'm always fascinated with the journey. How does he looks great, by the way. It looks exactly the same as it always looks. But how does one go from Smiths Falls to smoke? So I'm wondering what were you like? Yeah. By the way, you owe me one of these masks.
Just in today.
Well, sorry. Let me rewind. So
I had my bandana. Always had my bandana
right
on. So I've had that. So that's
okay. Hold on. We are all over the. This is amazing. I love it. This is great energy. But this all started. So Ajax Council did a photo opportunity with Ryan, promoting our economic development, promoting local business, but also Ryan had eaten 100 meals locally.
Boom.
Highlighting businesses on his social media. It's a great thing. And unfortunately, I couldn't make it to that photo op just because I'm still just playing it cautious, right? And I clearly and so yes, he had given these to all of Ajax Council. So I guess I'll talk to your staff because I am owed a bandana, I believe.
You could have had one. You could have had one, baby.
After 30
whatever
minutes,
you want. Yeah. Whatever you want. You got the bandanas. You got the masks. I'll throw in. How about some poutine for life? Whatever you want, baby.
This is a verbal contract, folks. So again, I will not. I probably don't need it, by the way. I don't need it.
That.
Yeah, this is what we didn't want to talk about. So sorry, we were talking about high school. What were you like in high school?
I was actually, it's so funny you asked that, dude, because I was just talking to my boys about that. My boys are hitting high school next year. Twin boys hitting grade 9, and I'm scared, man. I'm picturing me when I was in high school, and I was like, oh God, I have to shake these kids up and make sure they follow the line, man. Follow the line, because I was actually, believe it or not, I was like a hybrid. I played like every sport you can think of, and this is where I try to educate and try to help direct the boys because I played football as quarterback of the football team. I played every sport, but I was also studious. And I finished. That's when we had OACs. I had through to grade 13. I fast tracked high school too. So I told them it's not all about the sports. Concentrate on the school. I did high school in 4 years, and boom, out of there and got to Laurier. So it was that combo. I was a nerd. I was in the library studying, but I played every sport, and I still went out in the night. And
was it
too, so
you were just
but I prioritized.
Right. But was your goal to get out of Smiths Falls? Is that why you fast tracked, or just like
I gotta say, I really have to be careful. I can't say that. That's what I kind of say jokingly sometimes. But I love Smiths Falls. Smiths Falls rocks.
Right, for life.
Global domination, a little bigger than Smiths Falls, but I just got back from Smiths Falls. This was there last week, so I love you, Smiths Falls. SF DCI rule. So I just wanted to get out and push it on. I just wanted to get out and start my own businesses, man. So that's the real reason I went there. And I didn't even know Laurier, believe it or not, until a buddy of mine who came. He's a great buddy of mine, best friends to today. He just came to SFDCI for his last year of high school. That's when I met him, and he's the one who got me looking at Laurier. Up to then, I was like, do I go to Queens? Do I go to Western? Great business schools. But then Laurier, it was like a small town at the time, right? So it was me. Best fit ever. But yeah, it was to get out of Smiths Falls, but not because I hate it, but more because I wanted to Get
Get
for
on with your
global
life.
domination. Get on with life, baby.
Right. That's awesome. So you mentioned you have twin boys. They're, I guess, 13, 14 approximately, right?
Yep, 14.
Uh,
Wild dudes. Wild dudes.
and are you currently
Got a
married?
sleepover last night. I'm like the ultimate dad. No, I'm single.
You're single? Okay.
Single dad. And I'm the ultimate dad. I let them have a sleepover last night. And I was in here for work like before they were even sleeping. I was leaving at like 5:30 and they're still partying, these guys.
Wow.
So,
Those were the
oh, to
days,
be
huh?
young.
Those were the
Oh,
days.
God. God, man.
Actually, I
Those
can't
were
even
the
say that.
days.
I had pretty strict Asian parents. So it's like I didn't really, like, I had a very outgoing personality, which was conflicting with strict Asian parents. So it's like I wanted to get out, but I couldn't get out. So that's why it's like my requirement for university was like not Toronto. Like I grew up in Markham, right? So as long
Yeah,
as it
yeah,
was like
yeah, yeah.
like Laurier, like Waterloo from Markham is like an hour and 15 minutes. So it's like close enough that I could go back often, but like
So,
away.
yeah.
That was like my only requirement. I didn't even know, and I hand to God, I didn't even know Laurier was in Waterloo when I accepted my acceptance letter. I didn't do a tour.
Serious.
You know, like when they come to your high school and they do the little
Yeah.
pitches. Yeah, that's all it took for me to be like, yeah, okay, cool, I'm going to Laurier.
Yeah,
It was
sounds
not
good.
well thought out. It worked out perfectly, but yeah, I did not really plan out my future. It was a very different path than we took.
But same type of thing with me. Far enough away that you can have your independence, but close enough that it's still there if you needed them, right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
still mooch off the parents all the way through. My boys, you did not hear that. You were not mooching off me.
Yeah,
You
of
did not
course
hear
not.
that.
You're going, you gotta go worldwide. You gotta get put that capital worldwide.
Exactly, man.
Now, it's probably not like a surprise for anyone watching this that you are a fan of hard rock. I'm guessing classic rock. It seems to be your
Oh yeah, the little Kiss up in the background. All '80s rock, glam rock, and hair bands. That's
right.
what it's all about. That's all we play all day, every day at all our locations. That's part of the brand. Smoke said it was so I said, "Smoke, it will be done." '80s rock, glam rock, hair bands. That is it.
But would you say Kiss is your favorite band, or
I think you stumbled onto something there, dude. Kiss is number one. Definitely number one on the hit list. But there's close seconds through fifth. I'd say like Motley Crue,
right?
Skid Row, little Poison. But then you even throw in a little abstract. People don't even know like classics like Cinderella.
Right.
Unbelievable.
I
So
used to be afraid of their T-shirts when I was like in kindergarten.
Cinderella?
They just had really scary T-shirts. I
That's
remember,
funny.
and like
That's funny.
yeah,
I
all
took
these.
my boy. That's funny. My boys were just wearing some Alice Cooper t-shirts. I took him to an Alice Cooper concert. Wow, God, they must have only been 6 or 7.
Right.
Still wearing the big Alice Cooper shirts now. Only they fit them now. Before there were dresses on them.
Yeah,
But
of course.
Alice Cooper looks so scary. Back to me in my day, let alone on a 6-year-old taking him to that concert. But
Well, that's because
gotta love it.
he looks like a walking zombie right now too, isn't he? Like 1,000 years old. Like he's
Yeah.
on the years, right?
Yeah, and he overdoes it on the makeup too for the shirts. He plays it up.
Yeah, he has to.
So he's
And
on the list too. All '80s glam rock and hair bands. Name it, we got it on the playlist.
how many times do you think you've seen Kiss live? I assume you've seen them live a
Good
few times.
question, man. Yeah, I've seen him live a few times, probably 6 or 7 now. The
Okay.
last 2, I was lucky, man, because I met Gene
Oh,
a
nice.
couple times now, and he invited me backstage. So I took my boys and some friends backstage when they were in Niagara Falls on the other side, U.S.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, U.S. 2 tours ago. Went backstage with them, hung out. The coolest of cool, dude, was that they had about 100 people there, like early afternoon. They were just meeting everybody, doing signings, but they just sat down, makeup off, just did a little acoustic jam, and they were just asking people what they want to hear, and they just start strumming it and singing, and literally we're like this far away, from Paul Stanley, just sitting there on the side. It's so intimate, and I'm like taking pictures of my boys, all that I can get, and I'm like, dudes, do you realize how lucky you are? Oh my God,
this is not normal. This is not the average
I've
experience.
lived my whole life for this, man, and do you realize what you got? And they're like, yeah, it's pretty cool, Dad. Yeah,
They're back on their phones. Like,
like,
look up from your
damn!
phone. Look up from your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy because like you hear like the horror stories of Kiss and like them being like not the best to their fans. So I mean to have that experience is a really cool experience, right?
Oh, it was unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. The first time I met them, went to their house in Beverly Hills because they were looking into. They obviously have the Canadian connection. They love the poutine idea, and that's what it's all about. That's probably like shit, dude, like 7, 8 years ago now.
Right.
So just been talking ever since. It was cool, but it was surreal, total surreal. That could be a whole other podcast. I could go on forever how surreal that was. I actually took so many notes from the afternoon I hung out with them just to remember it. Like, it was unbelievable, surreal. Don't get me going on that. I could talk about that for a way
Well, it's
too
true. I
long.
mean, like if there's one band that really understands branding and the importance of branding
Exactly.
to the market, it is
Yeah.
Kiss. Like they have coffins,
Yeah.
they have everything, right?
Everything. That's where I was in Gene's office, and it was like there was the one that was on TV. It was like I don't know, God, must have been like 4,000 square feet of all memorabilia, everything you can think of with their logo on it. I think they have like 5,000 things that are branded. But then he flicks on another switch and says, "Here's the part that's not seen on TV, and there's a whole other place upstairs." He took me all around and gave me like just armfuls of stuff to bring home for my boys. There, I'm going off on a tangent again, but
No,
true
that's what
brand
this is.
leaders,
This is the
two
show,
brand
man.
leaders, two brand leaders. That's what I always said in Gene. Went from zero poverty, nothing, came over to the US with nothing, but built a $500 million brand and empire, music
Right.
empire. That dude rocks. If you like his music or not, it's the fact he built a $500 million brand, right? So that's what I always refer back to for sure.
It's funny. Out of that family, I think I'm more of a
Heineken.
fan. I think I'm more of a fan of his wife than I am of Gene. I
And
think
she's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Adolescent Sterling definitely was a big fan of Shannon Tweed growing up.
yeah, and she's the one that actually made the first contact because she's Canadian,
Right.
and she's made the contact because she loved poutine. She loved her experience when she went to one of our locations, and she's the one who made contact and pushed her hubby to get in touch with me. So it was pretty weird and surreal, and then just continued on from there and got some backstage passes for me and some friends, and my boys get to sit in on the acoustic jam. Pretty damn cool.
Now, if you're like a Tommy Thayer and like you there's groupies there. Do you think they offer to keep the makeup on or off when they're with a groupie, or do you think it's just like
He's like, just pretend I'm Ace. Pretend I'm Ace. Pretend I'm Ace.
They're like put the
Ace.
makeup back on, right?
Exactly. I don't think any of those guys want to take their makeup off.
Right. Not anymore. Not anymore. It was yeah. They're looking old as
Can you
well.
believe that though? Like, exactly. But those dudes like hitting 70,
Yeah.
they're still on stage doing that. Hey, that is unbelievable. You see these guys, anybody in that genre, anybody doing that 80s rocker bands before that, like in the 70s, that you see on tour now. You take a step back and you think, okay, well, if they were even at the youngest, 18, 19, and you start doing the math and you're thinking, oh my God, some dudes are like mid 70s and late 70s and they're still out there rocking it, man. I just shake my head. I'm like, I got trouble getting out of bed anymore. I got
Well, that's my point. Yeah,
reaching over for my laptop here. Jeez.
I'm in my late 30s and like my back hurts and I can't like always go to the park with my kid. I can't imagine like being like doing a full world tour and like the demands that like they're still using the zip lines and the fire and like everything like that seems intense to me.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, dude. That's what's like. I just shake my head. Those are true rock stars, true athletes, man. They know how to build brands. If I'm still like that and I'm mid 70s and I'm still getting it all fired up, doing Smokes Poutinerie global domination, woo! If I'm still doing that in my mid 70s, I'm gonna owe all that to Kiss and to Gene.
Right. And your deal with the devil, of course, because no one should have that much energy at 70. Do you ever think about retirement? I mean, you're still expanding. I wouldn't even say you even plateaued. You're still like meteoric rise. Do you ever think of just like, okay, like I'm good. Like this is what I wanted. Can pass it down. Can start slowing down. Because I imagine to do what you've done from university to now, it had to have been somewhat nonstop, right?
Oh, nonstop, yeah, with the companies I had before this as well. But dude, there's no end, and this would be the absolute wrong time in the cycle to be selling if
Of course.
you're into the biz, right? We're in a growth stage now, especially with what hit. It's been a disastrous last 5 months with the pandemic, of course. So not the time to be selling, although we're weathering it well. We've had to close a few, unfortunately, and even all my sports and entertainment locations, because we have 70 locations that are in the universities or in the
Stadiums.
Stadiums and the arenas and the zoos and the amusement parks, all shut down. We're probably not going to see. I budgeted till September 2021, so another year before we're going to see those open again. So we're getting hit hard, and then we've had a few other places close. So, but we're lean and mean, and we're doing awesome. We're going to be going global. Like I said, still selling. We just sold another couple units in Canada. I don't want to name them. Just signing deals this week, but international too. So it's still there. It's at that hyper growth stage. So not selling, but if there's anybody listening and has an offer,
yes,
hey,
it has billions of dollars. I would listen. $1 billion,
exactly. I'm not saying no.
We'd have a conversation.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Um,
But I've known that I kind of go with the brand. I go with the company now. So I ain't getting out of this gig for a long time. Something tells me. People are always saying, well, you got to go with it now. The way you've built the brand around it, and even the global domination of myself behind it. So yeah, this is lifer, man. I always said if food and put music in there too, but if food and business came together, that's a lifer. But now I've got my '80s rock in there too.
yeah,
Done,
that's the
done,
holy trinity
lifer.
of Smokes Poutinerie right there, right?
Exactly. So I'll just be doing my world tours like Gene Simmons when I'm 75.
Now, is it like how difficult is it to balance having twins? Like, by the way, twins in
uh,
itself is like its own thing. I can't even like I have one. My kid's like almost 3, and that's been exhausting.
oh man,
I can't
it
imagine
would.
twins, and I can't imagine twins being a CEO of a major like food company. How's that life been?
And it's been since they were 3 also, man. Like you imagine take your little 3-year-old and multiply him times 3.
No, no, I
Again,
can't.
it's just not having two.
Yeah,
It's like exponential. They fuel off each other. It's like best buddies over all the time. No, but it's awesome. I wanted twins since I was, I don't even know how old, like mid 20s, late 20s. I always said I knew I was gonna have twins,
really.
and yeah, nah, no word of a lie, dude. And when it happened, it was like destiny, dude. And I couldn't love it anymore. I got 2 great little dudes, wild, crazy, insanity, and that's what I deserve. I deserve it back from my wild days at Laurier
Of
because I
course,
told you what I was like in high school. I never told you what I was like in university. That's a different story. So that's the
it's
karma.
true.
That's coming back.
You know what?
So,
I assumed
and
you were so busy,
thank God these did not
didn't
exist
exist. Right.
back then. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Were you a
I
water
wouldn't be
buffalo? Were
here.
you part of Walusu? What did you do? What did you do, Laurier?
Dude, whatever you can think of, I did. I actually had a bunch of businesses going. My first businesses, well, I already mentioned the properties. I got my first one in third year, but before that, dude, I was that guy that was selling the rafting trips. My first one that I did,
Oh
I
yeah,
was selling
those.
squash. Yeah, I was selling squash rackets on campus. That was the very first one I did. It was when I was down in Florida. It would have been just going into second year, and I was down in Florida. I bought like 500 squash rackets. I won't tell you for how much,
Right.
but it was. I
Got to
got this
steal, I
clearance sales.
assume.
Yeah, I still have people out there who bought them off me, so I'm sorry, guys, if they didn't last too long. But I love you. Just
Right.
don't come after me. It wasn't me. It was that
Right.
other guy. But
Statute of limitations
but
have expired.
nice call, nice call. So I sold a bunch of squash rackets on campus for a semester. Then I got into doing the whitewater rafting trips. I did those until we, in our last year, we had the most ultimate trip going where we closed down all of our rafting tours and did the whole place to ourselves. Had a keg party, 13 kegs, I remember, live band. So I was that dude that was doing all that stuff while doing all the business courses, of course, and getting out and having some fun while we're at it, and doing the co-op because we did the business co-op. So, building that side of it. So, if I had to say the most memorable parts of university, it was those summer semesters, man, of
Yeah.
business co-op. Good times, and stayed ahead of the game that way. So here's where a little bit of the keener comes in because I remember I did a full credit geology course when I was on one of my work terms. They called that Rocks for
Rocks
Jocks.
for jocks.
If you
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, you remember? So I did that a full credit on one of my work terms, and everybody thinks it's because I'm being a keener. No, they don't understand. What that means is in my last semester, the summer semester of fourth year, boom, all I've got is 3 half-credit courses I've got to take. So I had the compulsory biz course I had to take. I took a two quarter credit phys ed courses with
Oh,
that,
nice.
and sales management. So just a case study course, one compulsory course of business, and then 2 quarter credit phys eds. Tell me that wasn't the best summer of all time.
You're laughing, right? You're laughing. You're totally chilling
And
there.
in the ultimate house that I own, biggest keg parties, good times,
Now,
but no cameras,
this
no
this
cameras.
yeah, thank God. This work ethic that you have, which is awesome, and you hear a lot of CEOs. Oh, I get up at like 4 a.m. I only sleep like 3 hours. Do you get that from your old man? Do you get that from your grand? Like who like is this just something you had that is unrelatable to anyone in your family? Like what drives someone to do this?
You are going so deep, man. Dude, you're opening me. The tears start coming now. This honestly, dude, this is this isn't all hereditary, but if I had to guess, I'd say 98% of it because my great grandparents started the first Smolkin's menswear here in the Ottawa Valley in Canada back in 1921. And we're talking my great-grandparents and my grandfather being one of 10 kids, lived in a little two-bedroom apartment above the store in Empire, Ontario. So that was the first one. And then by the time my grandfather got old enough, he actually opened his own in Smiths Falls, Ontario. My dad took over that. My brother took over that. So like fourth generation going, getting it into for that. My brother still runs one in Kemptville, Ontario. So entrepreneur my whole life. I just knew I didn't want anything to do with menswear.
Right.
That was one of the things I said I would never do. Love you, Dad. Love you.
But that's the line in the sand, was like no clothing.
Yeah, no clothing. So you know what? Why not get into the second worst industry to be in? There's menswear clothing going out the door. Yeah. And how about the restaurant industry?
Yeah.
So always pick the worst industries to go into. But so that said, answer your question. Yeah, all from parents, grandparents, and great grandparents, all going through down the generations.
Now, are you passing this down to the twins right now, or are you kind of letting them set their path? Like, if they say to you, "Dad, I want to be an actor," and would you be like, "Yeah,
for sure.
Go for it," or would you kind of
100%.
be like, "Oh, I really rad you to go into business because like this is like a."
No, they can do whatever they want, man.
Yeah.
I encourage them to just do whatever they want, whatever makes them happy, whatever they're strong at. Doesn't matter to me. I remember one of them when he was 7 years old, 8 years old, 6-7 years ago, came in here and was talking to some of the dudes that work for me, and it's a joke we always said. He's looking up at a guy who's like, probably mid 40s at the time, and been in the industry for 20, 25 years, and he looks up and says, "I'm going to be your boss someday." And I was like, you probably shouldn't have said that, but let me have a little word with it. No, but I encourage them with whatever they want to do. If it's in the sports, if it's in the arts, if it's in the restaurant industry, then so be it. Start their own biz. But if they ever got into this, they're washing the dishes first, man. They ain't just sitting in the office. That's what I did. I ran the first location on my own. I did everything. I did the all-nighters. I blanched the fries. I scrubbed the floors. Very first one downtown Toronto and Adelaide, I ran that puppy myself before the 10 in 2010, my second year, and then opened 10 of them. So went 1 in 09 and 10 in 10. Wild, dude. Didn't have people with me then. That was me. That was craziness, man.
So
now at least I got a great team behind me now, thank God. But it's been a long road.
Between you and I and the camera that's watching us right now, are you sick of French fries? You're kind of done with French fries, right?
No, dude.
No, okay, just checking.
Oh God, dude, I don't know what it is. It's like an addiction, and that's just on a line trying to sell my brand. I love it, man.
It's true.
Our
stuff
it's true. Is good. Like you always think, no, I don't need it. You're freaking had too much fries, but you eat one, you have another one. All of a sudden, the box is empty. So you should see. We just did a huge menu overhaul. That's launch in September 1, about 2/3 of it launch in September 1, and then the rest of it October 1. So in these down times, you can't slow down the gravy train. You got to keep moving, stay aggressive. So we got our biggest menu overhaul of all time, and you can imagine the taste testing that goes along.
Oh my
with
God,
like
that's if you need help, by the way, if you can give me a call, by the way, I can help out with this. I really can.
You should have been here, man. You should have been here. It was insane. I mean, we've done it. Every year there's a bit of a shift in some of our product, but this was ridiculous, the amounts we're looking at. And you'll know what I'm talking about when you see our menu, looking at September 1 overhaul.
My family are big fans. We are definitely big fans. Whenever we go to the Oshawa, the arena there, we always eat at the Smokes right by it because it's just, especially for a 2.5-year-old, like they're pretty picky eaters. So it's like whatever they like. And lo and behold, French fries, salted potato, deep fried salted potato. Yeah. He's always on board for, right?
You throw a couple pickles on the side for them.
Right.
Whenever I had the kids come through, that's what I'd always do. Hey, want some pickles with that?
That's a vegetable.
Yeah, exactly. Makes it healthy. Exactly.
So what do you do in your free time? Like, do you have free time? Again, you seem like the busiest person I've met in my life right now. And so it's just like, what do you do for free? Do you watch movies? Do you watch TV? Like, do you Netflix? Like, do you have time to?
I was going to say, that's another one where you hit, I've never asked these questions. You get me all emotional here, but I was going to say with my boys, but that crosses over with Netflix and with YouTube, because that's what I do with them half the time, it seems. Right. So, but it's all my boys, all the downtime. dedicated to my boys.
Nice.
So very little time for anything else, as you know, and traveling there. Not a lot the last 6 to 8 months. Haven't been traveling a lot, but we had it all planned when this hit, man. We had it in late March. We were supposed to be doing a huge show through Europe, starting in Paris, and then we had another one in early April, all booked for the Philippines, and we were hitting the whole Asian market, all through the whole area, and touching even south of that to Australia, New Zealand. So we were hitting the road, and it was going to be stellar. We still have a bunch of groups that we're talking to, but that would have been the travel hitting again. But it's going to be quiet for another couple months, but we're going to be going through the roof and hitting the air again. And when I do that, that's when I miss my boys. So, but I make up for it when I get back. So it has to be a balance, no matter what happens, man. You gotta have balance. I work crazy hours. I admit that, but the balance has to come somewhere, sometime, right?
And my God, like you must have been all over the world like 3-4 times. Like you must be like executive platinum plus member. Like you must, like you don't wait in lines when you go to the airport, I'm assuming at this point, because like you have so many miles.
The funniest, dude. Just funniest story behind that. I don't know how much we got time to talk.
I'm good as long as you let me know.
I honestly, I don't think that I'm getting my travel miles put anywhere, because to this day I still am like even waiting to get told that I have an upgrade, or if I get free seating, or do I get even get to the lounge. Even I don't even get that. And the funniest part is because Mark, who's my I call him the global dominator, he does all the international expansion. He's hilarious. He's been doing this for like 25-30 years. The dude is like platinum this, diamond that. He's got everything you can think of. Yeah, and every time we go, he's always getting ahead of the line. And then everybody that I have, all my operations dudes, even who go coast to coast in Canada, a lot of traveling to take care of the franchises and check in on the locations, they're even getting more points and all this status than me. And I'm paying for all the damn tickets. I'm paying for all the travel, and I can't even get up there and get into the lounge to even have a bite to eat. So I just go with Mark, and I just go on his coattail, and I go, Dad, where can we go? Can we go next? Let's go get some food.
Far be it for me to tell you how to run your business.
I get nothing.
I haven't talked to your team about this, because there's a flaw here. Because if you're going to the Middle East, like even twice, I feel like you could be able to get a free flight to anywhere in North America.
You think so? I got my points. I got my points, but I'm not getting any preferential treatment.
Right.
What's up with that?
Yeah, what's up with that? I would talk to a man about that. And what's been your favorite city so far?
Through the GCC, man. What an eye opener when I went there. And that's the range of it. If you've been there, like that's that range from obviously UAE and Dubai, get the seen the most and have that beauty part of it, and it's like Vegas on steroids. But then Saudi's a lot more to the traditional, Kuwait as well to the tradition, but there's beautiful people, beautiful country, Qatar being the same thing. There's beautiful, amazing people, beautiful country, beautiful architecture, so modern. I think it's in this mindset people have of what they're picturing, what it is over there. The architecture is modern. When I say architecture, it's not because it's heritage, is they have that too, crosses over, but they're decades ahead of us here in with technology than we are here in North America, and their work ethic is unbelievable. Right. The way they treat people, the hospitality, they're just great people. So if you get a chance, definitely go through that region, all through the GCC. But every place I've been through Europe and just starting to crack into that now. I have, believe it or not, I still haven't thrown that whole Asian market, we'll call it, the lump into a huge pocket. Still haven't been there. That was going to be the tour last April, like I said. So looking forward to that one again. Still haven't been through that whole tour. I can't wait for that one. That's gonna be. And do you
give yourself time to sightsee, or is it all just business when you're there?
That's the problem, man. Because we're up down same day. Like we'll do 10 cities in 6 days, 8 days. Like we're up down, and then hit the next, drive to the next city, go see the next thing. Then we're flying out. You see 3 cities in one day. But so it's too bad. But it's pictures in the car. Like remember we went to London. We did 2 hours of tour in the rental car after and pouring rain. You'll go to Buckingham Palace and all the photos are being taken out of the car as we're passing by in the rain. But hey, you get to see it. You get to meet the people.
True.
That's the one great thing. All these places I've got to meet the people, and the architecture, the places to go, the touristy spots. That's one thing, but to meet the locals and meet the people, take you to the real spots. That's pretty cool. That's where I've had a little bit of extra time through the GCC, especially Dubai and Qatar. Definitely great experiences. Those are still my favorites. Go through the GCC. Those beautiful places to be.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. I will put that on my list of places I'll never be able to afford to go.
Hey, I'll let you know we're opening, man. You can come for the opening party.
I'll bring an Ajax scroll for you, buddy. Now, so we alluded to this previously, and I just want to talk about it. You ate 100 meals from Ajax restaurants. So tell me about what prompted you to do this. How many calories have you gained? Like, have you gained weight? Have you lost weight? Like, what's been the experience been?
Dude, I just needed to do something when it was hitting, the virus was hitting, and the pandemic was hitting, and fuck, business was getting hit hard. We were going, I had to make the cuts here, global headquarters. We had a restaurant, so we're having trouble. It hit hard. So I just said, what can we do? What can I do? Like, we have got to give back. So I just came up with the idea. Let's just do support local. It is called, and I'm just going to hit 100 places in 100 days and just support local. Nothing more than that. That's what it means. And I just visited everything around all the Durham region. So kept it true. Like, it's support local. And I think where people get it's a little construed, a little misinterpreted is like, is it Tim's? Is McDonald's a local? Because I'd hit there, because I'd take some early comments on that. Most people understand, but some of them, why it's Tim's or why is it McDonald's? And I actually did it on purpose. If you saw one of my early ones, it was in purpose that it was McDonald's, and I held it up from the camera and I looked, because I have McDonald's in the same plaza that I've got at my global headquarters. It was empty, and there was nobody in the breakfast lineup. There was nobody through the drive-through, and I made it a point to say that is a local person who owns that local space, who's hired local people as a local manager, invested his local dollars. He's supporting your local hockey team or soccer team for your kid. This is local, man. Every place, big, small, mom, pop, single to chain, everything's local. So that's what I wanted to drive home, that message. And I think people got that by the end, but it was a nice even split. I did so much that are true local to the Durham area. And honestly, dude, that was one of the best parts about it, is that throughout the whole time when I was going around, half the place I hadn't even heard of, let alone I was going to say I hadn't eaten that. I hadn't even heard of half these places. That's what made it amazing. And to get in, to meet the people, to be able to post it up. And we put it everywhere, right? Like, I would just go in, I would order whatever in excess
Yes.
and support. They wouldn't know who I am. I started by the end, they did, and people would recognize me. It was funny coming in with the plaid bandana and my plaid hat and the smoked shirt. But it was just because we were posting, we were getting hundreds of thousands of hits and getting the spread out through my own LinkedIn, through my own Instagram, but there's more international stuff for the brand, like through Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Like, we were hitting them all. It was raking up. Everybody was just loving it. So people started to recognize, and that's what made it special, and had it drive it home that everybody. And I had so many great comments throughout the whole social scene, man. Just how it was inspiring others to go out and do the same, and to give a little back, because people don't realize when this happened, it wasn't like, maybe I'll cut back one or two times a week that I'm gonna not go to the restaurant. No, we're talking, it went from like 10 times a week to 0, right? Like it's when you're working, you're downtown, you're grabbing lunch almost every day. You're in a rush to take your kid to the hockey game. You're gonna grab a quick bite, some fast food on the way, like whatever it is. Like, you're talking 7, 8, 10 times a week you could be working at. It went to 0, my man. So it wasn't just dropping like 10, 20%. We were getting destroyed, and it's just crawling back now, and it's not even going to be back full for another year and a half, 2 years. So that's what people didn't understand, and that's what I was trying to drive home. And just to have people go out that extra once a week is a huge win, right? And I got lots of stories behind that, and lots of people's like, God, you inspired me. I had to go check it out. I had to go try this place. I hadn't been there forever. That place you posted, I'd never heard of it either. So I had to go try it. Man, that's awesome. Like, so that's where I had the most impact, and I saw just the influence they could have. So it was great, dude, and that had to lead into the phase 2. So
Yeah, it was well timed. Now, is this list published? Can I find all 100 in like one location, or do I have to go through like all your videos?
Actually, that's a good question. That's a good one. We have them all.
I'm sure.
We should do like a collage of some type, or I should do a one video that kind of goes through
them all, right?
But it was a lot, dude. Like when I did the last place, like it was I don't know if you saw, it was Mount Everest, Indian place.
Indian place, yeah.
Yeah, I've never been there before. I went in. Great people, great food, and everything. Like I would have never been there. So, but when I was there, it was kind of like, oh, it's done. I'm like looking at them, like that's 100. That's 100 days. Like that's a long time. You think, but it seems so quick. Like over 3 months and hitting 100 places. So I was kind of like, that sucks. What do I do now?
250, 500? Let's go 500.
Yeah, and that we were talking about, do I do more restaurants? Do I keep this going? But I think we had hit that, right? And hit that, and people were already going. So how do we take it to that next level, right? How do we get it out there on kind of wave 2 of the support local? So
yeah,
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that yet, but
no, well, we just don't have
to. Maybe you might you seem to be able to get a lot out of me, man. Like I don't know how you do it. So.
It's therapy. What is it? This is what it is.
But before it happened, it was really nice. The mayor and regional councilors, economic development team from the town of Ajax. They all came down, surprised the hell out of me. Came down to our location in Ajax. It's right beside, attached to our global headquarters. I'm the only one here, and one of our marketing people came because that's how much we've shrunk, right? Like, got nobody in the office here, so but everybody's working from home. But one of my marketing guys came in, and he said we have to go next door and check something out. So he pulled me out of my office, and there they are. Had about 10 people here from the city. It was awesome, and they presented me with the certificate, congratulating me and honoring me with what I did. And that was totally uncalled for, because it's everybody else that's out there that's fighting the battle, and that's who it all went to. So, but it was nice. It was a nice surprise that they all came down, and they just said they wanted to support local themselves too, right? So they wanted to come by and at least present the certificate. I actually brought it out to show you. That's how proud I am.
Right there, guys. Support local, 100th meal. That's awesome.
See, it's real.
Well, hey, I know it is. I wish I was there. Like I said, I'm sorry I had to miss it, but again, this is my way of making it up to you, so you get to experience Sterling in all its glory, right?
Yes.
Now, you're probably not going to tell me your favorite meal out of the 100, because that's not fair. But what was something that struck you that you liked that you didn't try before, or you didn't think you'd like?
Interesting. Well, I could go with the ones that everybody knows, but to keep it really local, like I got, like if anybody knows this area, like there's the Portly Piper, McGuire's, they're the go-tos. So I hit both those. There's your classics, like with the pizza places, right? Like if anybody knows Auntie's, right? Yeah, Auntie's and Pizza Pino, unbelievable pizza. Like you pay for it, but it rocks. Best stuff ever.
Yep.
But the classics like Big Boy Burgers and the Big M, those places rock, and those would get the biggest hits when I posted those up. Great people too. But I think if I had to name one, and it would be Lena's Roti. Do you know that one?
Yeah, it's right by my place on Roslyn.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. So you do know. Is it Lena's or Lena's? It was my first time ever. So I'm not making this up. I just call it Lena.
I think it's Lena's. I would say Lena's.
Yeah, Lena's. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sorry if we're saying it wrong, but you still rock. It was unbelievable.
Free plug.
Lena's roti and doubles. Those doubles. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're crack. All due respect, they're very addictive.
Addictive, dude. I took my kids back there after. Oh my god, they were so good. And then same with Down East Donairs. That was another one.
Yeah, the Donairs are phenomenal.
Oh, phenomenal. Addictive again. Like something that dude puts in those Donairs. And there's nothing like that. So, you got your falafels and shawarmas and a lot of those, and I hit those too. But the true East Coast Donairs, and it's Down East Donairs. That
Can't beat
dude
him.
rocks. He had one in Oshawa too, but he had to close it down, unfortunately.
Oh.
So he's just got the one in Whitby now. But it was fabulous. Awesome. So nice small little personal spots like that. Gotta hit those too. But I'll give you, like you said, I got a list of full 100 so everybody can test them. But or just go through my whole archive of the 100 videos and you'll see
So
in my
speaking of
eyes.
that, where can people find you online? So you have, like you said, everything. So where can people find you?
Well, where do you want to find me? Do you want to? What are you looking for?
What is
You're
your
just looking to say
MySpace?
hi. You're looking
What is your
you're looking to say
MySpace? What is your Asian Avenue login?
Asian Avenue login?
Did you ever use Asian Avenue? Asian Avenue was like one of the first social media sites when I was in high school. Obviously, I was Asian, so I was like part of it, and it was very much like MySpace before MySpace. So that's why it's always my go-to joke of like naming really antique social media platforms.
That's hilarious, dude. That's hilarious. Yeah, it got both the corporate and the personal, but the best place to go probably to my personal LinkedIn. So that's just at Ryan Smolkin, RyanSmolkin. So at Ryan Smolkin. But I did them on my Instagram, Ryan Smolkin again. But our
Okay.
Facebook and Twitter for corporate are both at Poutinerie. Instagram's at smokes_Poutinerie. Snapchat and YouTube, like we post them all through there to Smokes Poutinerie or as it's spelled. So yeah, TikTok, I did some whack bit stuff on TikTok too at Smokes Poutinerie. So we got it all, man. But probably
Gotta jump on the
best place
TikTok
would be-
before we shut it down, right?
Exactly, it's about to go on us. It's about
Yeah.
to go. They're gonna let her go. But probably the easiest place, like where it's me more personal, is on my LinkedIn. So at Ryan
Cool.
Smolkin.
And I'll like I said, I'll include the links on the bottom. Ryan,
Oh, yeah,
thank you.
I'll fire those to you. Yeah,
Sure.
good.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This was an absolute pleasure. And
Thank you, brother.
this was
You
really,
opened me up, man.
yeah.
You got me all
I'm
opening
glad.
up.
Like I said,
That's why I wear the glasses now.
Yeah,
I can't
the
take them
tears.
off. The tears.
You went to 100 restaurants during COVID. I just started this because, again, same thing. I just wanted to do something where it's just like I have time and I have creative energy that I don't know how to use. So this was the best way to do it. So I'm glad our two worlds got to meet. And
Boom.
yeah, you can find me, folks, at Your Voice for Ajax #4 on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And like I said, I'll include Ryan's logins there. So Ryan, once again, thanks for joining the show. And we'll see you next time, everyone, on Durham Unplugged. Thanks, Ryan.
Fire it up.